I wanted you to jump back on because actually another session that we was talking about is pretty much what's in the news. And then I saw on the news that I wanted me and Mansa having a discussion. And honestly, we are talking about what we see, and this is the male perspective, but at the same time, since you are the pretty much perfect person who could speak upon this, because like I said, you're a Black mother, you can speak on this. So with it being said, this is what it was. It's pretty much, I saw an article today, and it was, I think it came from CNN, and there was a study that shows that Black babies are 3 times likely to die at birth at the hands of white doctors. And I was just wondering, pretty much how you feel about that, if you feel like it's true, all that good stuff, what's your take on it?
I definitely believe that it's true. There have been actually quite a few studies done about Black mothers and Black babies. I feel that it's true because there is this theory that Black babies are so strong, or Black people, Black women, Black babies, especially Black girls. My daughter was born
Go ahead, Benson. Okay.
What?
No, he said the same thing, but continue on.
My daughter was born early, and the one thing that the nurses kept saying was like, "Oh, she's so strong, and Black girls are always known to do better than anybody else. Black girls are so strong, and da 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 da." That is true, but I think we have to sometimes think of that it's almost used as a deficit to Black women and Black babies in the fact that they don't feel that we need as much care, or we don't need as much, there's not as much concern about our conditions, or they don't pay enough attention to the conditions that are going on with us because, oh, you're just so strong, you're so strong. So it's almost a deficit. Mm-hmm. It's almost, instead of it being a strength, it's something that is used against black people in order to not give them as much care, or to see them as not needing as much because we can handle so much. Just because we are strong doesn't mean that we should have to be, especially when it comes to medical professionals. Like, you're a medical professional, but there was a study done, and I can't exactly quote the study, but they were basically saying a study done of white doctors that took care of Black people, and they gave them less care because they thought that they didn't need too much because of the color of their skin. So it's definitely true. And it's true when you look at the medical care that we receive. A lot of times I've actually had a couple people that I know that have passed away as a result of their medical professionals not taking them as seriously. Like, they're telling you that something is wrong, and instead of them doing investigations to find out what's really happening, they brush it off or think that we're being dramatic, or we're making excuses, or we just need, you just need to lose weight, your generation, your history. All of that may be well true, but if I'm coming to the doctor and telling you that something's wrong and I know something's wrong, I need you to be like House, and I need you to go and investigate every little thing and find that minute detail that you can't see. I need you to use your medical degree and your medical license for what you're supposed to use it for. Like, you actually take medical professionals take a Hippocratic oath that they will make sure that they don't cause any harm, and that they will provide excellent service. And a lot of them don't. A lot of them do a horrible job because they're like, oh, well, no, I think it's just, no, they brush you off. Mm-hmm. So, like I tell anybody going to the doctor, you need to make a list. You need to write down what you want. Take somebody in there with you. If they're calling out terms, you take your phone. We have Google. Google is the best GPS tracker and best word tracker in the world. Of course, they record everything you do, but at least you can find the information that you're looking for. Look up the medications that they're giving you. Look up the side effects. Look up the conditions that they're saying that you have. Look up the things, because half the time they'll give you medicine that is just as bad or worse than the condition that you have, when you can actually probably eat something or take it for a little while, and then if you do what you're supposed to do, you can get off of it. But a lot of times, I will be quiet, but you also have to know that medicine is a business. So the only way that you can have a business is if you continue to have clientele. If your clientele consistently gets well, then you're out of business. So think about it. Really, really consider what it is that you're doing and who you're seeking when you're going to the doctor. Are you really going to someone who is trying to give you the best care, or are they trying to drain your insurance and then drain your pockets to get your deductible and your copays? Or are they really trying to provide you excellent care and excellent service? And there are some really good doctors out there, but there are other doctors who know the Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance system, and they use that to their advantage. So they may have you do 15 million surgeries for something that you could solve with herbal medicines or whatever. And I'm talking the extreme, but if you are a business, you want your business to stay working.
And that is Mama Bear. Ooh.
So Mama Bear, I got a question for you. Do you know anything about the midwife, and would you advocate for that?
Say it one more time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you know anything about the midwife, and would you advocate it or advocate for it or against it? Like, do you think it's a good alternative?
Midwives and doulas, I think, are amazing. I do know something. One of my friends, she's studying midwifery, and I have another. So I had, I guess, they call it au pair or whatever, but I called it someone who sat. I had a sitter for my daughter, or a nanny for my daughter. Well, and don't get it twisted. I don't have like that, but I had to do what I had to do to go to work.
Yeah, for sure.
But I had a wonderful young lady who cared for my daughter when she first came home from the hospital. And now she's embarking on empowering mothers and advocating for midwives and doulas. And I think that they're amazing. I think that it's an experience. Like, if I could have done things differently, I would have probably taken that route. But I think that you have so many choices, and there are so many opportunities to bring your child into the world in a safe and beautiful way, as opposed to being in a hospital with all of the sharp instruments and the sharp lights. And there are some doctors who do deliver, and they do a good job delivering. There are some mothers who have issues where they do have to go and have surgery. There are those things, but if you can opt to get a midwife, or if you can opt to get a doula, and if I'm saying them interchangeably, then excuse me, but if that's an option that you have, that's definitely something that we should look into. If you look back into our history, African Americans, Black people were not allowed in hospitals for a while. So we had midwives before midwives became popular. Mm-hmm. So there were grandmothers and great grandmothers that were delivering children in the homes when it was the plantation, and then when we got into the Jim Crow era, and then probably far after that, there were women who were delivering babies at that time because it was a necessity. So before it became a thing, or before it became popular and something that was appropriated, it was something that we did as a part of the village, and as a part of making sure that our children thrive. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's definitely something that people should look into.
All right.
Well, Mama Bear, I greatly appreciate that. I appreciate that knowledge you dropped. Thank you.
Look at that.